I'm going to jump in chat, and I'm going to hand this over to Sean Hussein, who's from Chargezoom. He's partner development director there. And I'm going to I'm going to take myself off camera and mute myself. I'll come back on at the end. I'll be watching to make sure we answer all the questions at the end. If you're watching the replay of this, that just has this introduction on it, you can always email us at partners@payprotect.com, and we'll get your questions answered at any time with anything to go with Chargezoom or anything else in the payments sphere. And we're really excited about Chargezoom. We've been meeting with these guys for several months. I think we met up with them for the first time at MWAA show this past July. Had also met at the WSAA show and have talked and interacted. And we're excited. They're fully up and running on the EPX platform. And so without further ado, Sean, I'll hand it off to you and let you jump in there and start the presentation. And I'll be on the background watching everybody and chatting with everybody. Have a great one.
Awesome. Appreciate the introduction, Nate. And thanks to everybody who's joining us right now. Really appreciate it. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump right in. So Chargezoom is a radically simple solution for reducing time and reducing friction in payments. So what we're going to do today is actually jump right into a demo. And without further ado, I'm just going to jump right into that right now, guys. So let me go ahead and bring up my screen, and we'll do a quick demo of Chargezoom, and then we're going to go into a little bit more detail on how to find merchants, how to qualify merchants, do a little Q&A at the end. But without further ado, I'm just going to jump right in. So here's Chargezoom. This is the platform. We're all cloud-based, so there's nothing for your merchants to install, nothing to download. No need to, schedule any appointment for, us to remote in, anything like that. It's all cloud-based, real easy, simple setup. We work with QuickBooks Desktop. We work with QuickBooks Online. We work with FreshBooks, and we work with Xero. So those are the 4 accounting softwares that we work with. I'm currently connected to a QuickBooks Online account right here in another tab. And let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and create an invoice. Here in my QuickBooks account, I'm going to create something simple. So let's go ahead and save invoice number 348 here in QuickBooks. And so I got that saved, and then going back into Chargezoom, let's take a look at, let's say a customer calls in and they want to pay this invoice off, or let's say we have a card on file and we want to pay that invoice off, right? So let's take a look at how we can do that. And just like that, there's invoice 348. It populates in real time, so no delay. There it is, 348. This customer happens to have a few different invoices syncing over from QuickBooks. So if I wanted to, I can select all or multiple and pay them all off. So when I click select, and what happens in the background when I click submit here is the payment goes to either the gateway, or as Nate said, we integrate with EPX Direct, and that payment gets processed. And let's go ahead and take a look at what happens in QuickBooks now. So going back to invoice 348, let's see what happened. And there it is. It's already marked as paid, right? Already marked as paid, automated, and not only that, but the transaction ID got entered in for us as well. So what would normally have taken about 6 minutes, guys, think about this. Merchants are spending time creating that invoice, just like I did, just like I just showed you in QuickBooks. Then they have to go into a gateway or whatever online platform they're using and re-enter all of those fields, process that payment. Once the payment gets processed, they'll have to go back into QuickBooks, manually mark this as paid, manually copy and paste that transaction ID and paste it in. That is a 6 to 7 minute process going back and forth per invoice, and we just did it in a couple of seconds. So again, the value add, the value proposition is that time savings and that automation. I want to go into a couple of other really popular features in Chargezoom right now. So if you're talking to merchants who are currently using, let's say, Intuit Merchant Services or QuickBooks Payments, or maybe they're using Stripe, chances are they're just emailing a payment link out to their customers, right? They're not manually keying anything in, they're just sending out a link to their customers. So here in Chargezoom, I got a list view of all my invoices synced over from my QuickBooks. I can select multiple invoices at a time, select the ones that I want, and email them out with the payment link. I can even change this view. So let's say I want to filter just by past due invoices, right? So just overdue invoices, and email all of these out with a payment link and with a customized email. Let me go ahead and click on one of these, and let's actually take a look at what one of these emails look like, and let's see what the cardholder sees, right? So here's an email template that the merchant can pre-save. They can edit this, they can pre-save it as a template, they can update any of these fields however they like. They can choose whether or not they want to add a CC or blind CC. And the great thing is, and this is really important when you're talking to a business owner, the great thing is all of this can be branded and is branded to the merchant, right? So what the cardholder sees is an email that looks like it's coming from the merchant. The payment link, the body of the email can be personalized, so it's all matching that merchant's branding, right? The click here to pay link is also branded to the merchant. So when you're talking to these customers, they know when they send out an email link via QuickBooks or Stripe, it's branded to QuickBooks. It has that ugly green QuickBooks branding all over it, or it has that big purple monster, the Stripe monster, all over the branding, and it literally says, here is your QuickBooks email, or here's your QuickBooks invoice. Now they get a branded solution, and the cardholder knows exactly who they're paying. They know their amount due, they know their invoice number, and a PDF can be attached as well. When a payment is made via this payment link, and I want to show you guys what that payment link actually looks like. Let me open it up here. So this is what the cardholder sees when they click here to pay. When a payment is made via this payment link, after the cardholder clicks pay now, the payment information, the card number, gets stored in a tokenized vault in Chargezoom. On the next screen, on the next screen, the customer has the option to print a receipt. In real time, the merchant gets a notification in their Chargezoom that a payment was made, and QuickBooks updates as well. So it's a great solution. There's a number of added benefits of using payment links versus going direct with QuickBooks or say with Stripe or any other solution. So those are going to be the two most popular features in Chargezoom. Next, I'm going to go into some other added features that are on our enterprise tier, and I'm going to cover what the different packages are a little bit later. But here we have a list view of all of our customers synced over from QuickBooks. And you guys probably noticed on the top right, I can add new customers into Chargezoom. You probably noticed on that previous screen with invoices, there was also an add new to make invoices. So to answer you guys' questions, yes, you can create customers, you can create invoices, you can update all of those fields in Chargezoom, and they will sync back to QuickBooks. It's what we call the two-way sync. Any updates made in Chargezoom sync back to QuickBooks and vice versa. So from here, if we go ahead and click on one of these customers, I want to show you a couple other features here. We can edit this customer profile. We can add multiple cards. We can view and update if we have any stored data here, edit the customer fields. Something really, really cool that I've personally discovered is unique to us is you can process a refund direct in Chargezoom. I've learned that this is not something available with some of the other solutions out there. So the merchant no longer has to go into the gateway. They don't have to go through a lengthy process. They can literally find a past transaction and process a refund directly in Chargezoom. They can even do a partial refund as well, which is a question we've been getting a lot lately. And this again will update back to QuickBooks. Going down here, I'm going to cover subscriptions in a second, but another feature I want to cover is email history. So emails that are sent out via Chargezoom, the merchant will be able to see whether or not it was delivered, if the merchant received the email, and they'll also be able to see when the email was opened as well. So if maybe an email isn't getting received, they can see that directly in Chargezoom and see if they maybe need to update an email record, right? I want to cover I want to cover recurring payments. This is a really, really cool feature, recurring payments. So take, for example, I'm going to use the example of the pool cleaning industry, right? Pool cleaning merchants, those businesses, they have their own proprietary software for creating invoices, and then via API, those invoices get synced into Chargezoom. So think about it. The pool cleaning merchant, they're creating invoices in their pool cleaning software. They're making invoices, and those update back to QuickBooks, right? Well, guess what? Those invoices also sync over to Chargezoom as well, right? So say that merchant has a bunch of invoices floating around in their QuickBooks account. With recurring payments in Chargezoom, we can go ahead and select, say, on a certain calendar date, say on, the 15th of the month, I want Chargezoom to process any open invoices in QuickBooks, whether or not they were created there. Maybe they were created in that that other third-party software, and then we can run this transaction, this recurring payment on any invoice for this particular customer on that calendar date. So really, really cool feature, another layer of automation there. Now I want to cover what we call subscriptions. So think of your merchants who do some type of membership, like a gym or a private tutoring center, right? Doing a monthly tuition or monthly memberships, that sort of thing. So in Chargezoom, we can pre-save an unlimited number of plans. And I'm going to pull up an example here. Let's stay with the example of pool cleaning, right? So we have our pool cleaning plan that just updated all of these fields. And let me go ahead and select a customer here. And so once I click save and add this customer's payment method, what's going to happen, what we're telling Chargezoom to do now is on every month for the next 12 recurrences, to create this invoice for this service, pool cleaning, for $100. And what's going to happen is Chargezoom's going to automatically create that invoice monthly, and we can set this frequency. We can edit it right here. So say we want, this customer maybe wants, hey, I actually want the service every other week, right? And we want to change the recurrence. We can update all of this, create a custom subscription, and then from there, Chargezoom performs all the work, right? All the busy work, the work that nobody wants to do, right? Nobody wants to go in and have to update their QuickBooks. No one wants to have to manually create invoices every recurrence and manually process that same customer's payment, right? Chargezoom is doing all the work that nobody else wants to do, completely automated, and everything updates back to QuickBooks as well. All right, next, this is a feature that's been requested a lot that we just rolled out. I'm excited to show you guys. Let me show you guys the customer portal. Some of you might have received via our newsletter the demo video that's out there. So let's cover that. So customer portal, right? This is going to give the card holders a login to access and view their information, view their transaction history, view their open invoice, select whether or not which ones they want to pay off, update their payment information. So it's really, really easy for the merchant to enable this feature. All they have to do is go to the customer portal tab, choose which permissions the cardholders get. They get to update their customer help text. They add their logo. So then again, what the cardholder sees is all branded to the merchant. They can add a terms of service and then choose what the cardholder gets to see, whether or not they can edit their details, their payment information, their subscriptions, etc. So let's take a look at what the cardholder actually sees. So once this is enabled, a welcome email will get sent to the cardholder. It's going to look something like this. Again, instead of the Chargezoom logo, that's going to be the merchant's logo there. And the cardholder gets some instructions on the customer portal. They get a link to log in. And let's take a look at that. So here we go, customer portal. Let's go ahead and log in as if we're a cardholder now. And take a look at what we got here. So perfect, we see our open invoices. We can select which ones we want to process. We can even view our past transactions, so invoices that have already been processed. Say we want to download a receipt or print a receipt and update all of our information from this screen right here. So really cool feature that we just rolled out that's been getting a lot of demand over the last few months. So we're really excited about offering customers that. Moving on, so another really cool feature that we offer and have an integration with EPX Direct is level 2 and level 3, right? And what we mean by that is we're actually able to pass enhanced data, and we pull that data, we pull fields direct from the invoices, and we're the only platform that's able to pass enhanced, real, authentic data that qualifies for level 2 and level 3 interchange, right? So for those customers who are taking a lot of P cards, government cards, I mean, pretty much anyone doing B2B, doing invoices, you know, the customers that qualify for Chargezoom are going to want those interchanges, right? Level 2 and level 3 is live with EPX. All right, with that, guys, I'm going to switch over to some slides here, and let's talk about, you know, the opportunity that's out there. So again, what is Chargezoom? We are a radically simple solution for reducing time and reducing friction in payments. We like to use the KISS model. I know that I went into a little bit of more of a deep dive for everybody on this call, but normally when we're talking to merchants, we like to keep it stupid simple. Make sure our demos are short and sweet, to the point. Make sure we make everything look easy as it truly is, because at the end of the day, we're selling time savings. So we got to make sure we show the time savings, that they can feel how quick and easy everything is. And if you need any more info on that, you could talk to my friend Dwight here, and he knows all about keeping it simple, stupid. All right, so we went through the demo. Let's talk about onboardings real quick. So we'll take care of all of your onboardings. We'll actually do a white glove service for all of the entire PayProtect team. We'll take care of demos. Demos usually take about 5 minutes. And I'm dead serious when I say that. We get our demos done in 5 minutes. They only go longer if the merchant has questions, right? As far as creating an account and doing an onboarding, that's also just a couple minutes. Takes just a couple minutes to create an account, get it connected to EPX, and sync to their QuickBooks. So it's we do live support, live customer success comes included for all of the merchants, right? Let's talk about the merchant onboarding process, right? So you want to always qualify the merchant first, right? Confirm your merchant is using one of the accounting softwares that we integrate to: QuickBooks, FreshBooks, or Xero. And we work with QuickBooks Desktop and QuickBooks Online, and make sure they're doing card not present transactions, or they're looking to do that, right? We're not set up for any card present. It's all card not present. Think about merchants that do a lot of B2B, that do a lot of invoices. Once you confirmed all that, book a demo. And I'm going to be sharing our calendar link to schedule the demos as well at the end of the call. So book a demo. Our sales team will do a live demo. Again, it's short and sweet, 5 minutes, unless there's questions that the merchant asks. And then once the MID is approved, right? Once you have that merchant account approved, then go ahead and schedule that onboarding, and our onboarding team will walk the merchant through a real quick setup wizard. All right, guys, let's talk about the opportunity that's out there. So B2B sales, you know, there's a bigger opportunity. You're looking at $10.6 trillion versus 2.8 trillion with B2C, and B2C is going to be your typical retail businesses versus B2B. That's going to be your wholesalers, your card not present, your suppliers, your warehouses, your service companies, right? And 17% of all B2B sales in the US happen online. The market opportunity, we're looking at 35 million QuickBooks users, and then another 10 million users using either FreshBooks and Xero, and both of those are growing every day. They're getting more and more popular, right? Those are similar accounting softwares to QuickBooks. They're a little bit newer, a little bit more modern looking, have a little bit better user interface. So that's why those two are growing. All right, so how do we find these merchants, Sean? Where do I get merchants? I'm so used to doing retail, right? So easy answer to that. We got a picture here of what looks like a bakery, right? Go to your bakeries, go to your restaurants, go to your retail locations and simply ask them, hey, who does your, who supplies your equipment? Where do you get your uniforms from? Who waters the plants in here? Who does the flooring? Who does the lights? Who does your pest control? Each one of those that I just named, that's an example of a merchant that's doing B2B. They're literally coming in, they're doing a service to another business for another business. They're dropping off more than likely they're dropping off a paper invoice and then picking up a paper check. That means that B2B merchant isn't even set up for credit card processing. They're probably using QuickBooks, and they might not even know that there's a solution out there that can help them cut down time, or maybe they're looking for one and just haven't found it yet. So a real easy way is just to build that rapport with your retail merchants and use them as a referral source. All right. And remember, guys, these days, tech really does drive decisions and payments, right? These merchants who are paying, up to almost, I talk to merchants who pay 4% with Intuit Merchant Services, right? 4% with QuickBooks Payments. And they don't realize they might be able to save money by going with an outside processor. They don't know that there's options out there. They don't even realize that, hey, I can still have all my features in QuickBooks, all the same features, and be able to use an outside processor. So use that to your advantage. Use the features we're offering to your advantage. Use us to help you close those B2B deals. Don't be afraid to even, lead in with, hey, do you use QuickBooks? What if I told you I can save you money and save you time and make it so that you don't have to spend all day or all night or your weekends invoicing? Another really good example of some low-hanging fruit out there, right? So QuickBooks is really stringent when it comes to their payment services, right? And they'll actually drop or loop in merchants into the high risk baskets who may not even truly be high risk. I'll give you an example, right? We have a number of merchants who got looped into the guns and firearms category with QuickBooks, but they don't even sell guns, right? One merchant, what they do is they sell camping gear, camping equipment, but on their website, they have pictures of it kind of has the branding of like duck hunting or that sort of thing, right? The camouflage everywhere. QuickBooks, their underwriting sees that, says, "Oh, you guys are a gun company, you're getting kicked off," right? When really they're not even, they're actually, don't even really qualify as a true high risk account. Right now, what are these merchants going to do? They have all these invoices. They don't have a solution. They're looking for them. So what I recommend is going on your social media, going into these QuickBooks groups. These QuickBooks users have their own groups on Facebook, on Reddit, on all sorts of different messaging boards, and they're literally asking each other, hey, I just got kicked off of QuickBooks. For whatever reason, they think I'm high risk. Can anybody help? Does anybody have a solution? I'm not high risk. QuickBooks thinks I am. Please help me, right? So easy way to find merchants that are looking for a solution out there that are getting kicked off of QuickBooks payments. All right, I promised you guys pricing. So our pricing is super simple. It's all on our website. We don't shy away from it. Your merchants can start on a sync plan that's only $20 a month. For Pay Protect, we actually do a 30-day free trial so any merchants who just want to try us out, they're not sure if it's something for them, let them know, hey, it's a 30-day risk-free trial. Even if they sign up for one of the paid plans, we're month to month. There's no long-term contracts with us. There's no setup fees. There's no setup costs, so costs nothing to start. Zero risk. We even have a free plan which is essentially the sync plan that caps out at 10 transactions a month. So if someone just says, hey, I just want to try them out for a couple transactions, let them know, hey, there's a free plan that gives you 10 transactions a month, so they can start there. All right, some frequently asked questions that we get. So we do not replace QuickBooks, right? We enhance QuickBooks. We actually cut down the time a business owner or a bookkeeper has to spend in QuickBooks. And that's why business owners love us, right? They want to spend their time growing their business, finding new customers. They're trying to find ways to cut down time on delivery, cut down, so some of them are just looking for, hey, I just need an extra hour in my day to take a lunch, to take a break, to get a breather, right? And that's what we provide. We provide that time savings to them. Let these business owners and these bookkeepers know you have a solution that is certified by Intuit. We are certified by Intuit. We have a great relationship with QuickBooks, believe it or not. We really do. That goes a long, long way, especially when you're talking to a bookkeeper, an accountant, a CPA, a QuickBooks certified pro advisor, right? They love hearing things like that. Other softwares, right? I mentioned FreshBooks, I mentioned Xero, and more to come. We're going to be rolling out more integrations later in the year, so keep an eye out for that. If you're not already on our newsletter, reach out to myself or Nate, and we'll get you on that newsletter, get you those updates. We send that out about every 2 weeks or every other week right now. So as updates come, we make sure everybody gets those updates. Gateways, we work with the gateways you already use. I think the easiest is going to be EPX Direct. If there's any others, you guys got questions about, please feel free to ask. We'll let you know. And again, we offer enhanced, authentic, real level 2 and level 3 data to qualify for that interchange. All right, and with that, guys, I'm going to leave up my contact information for a couple of seconds here. There's my email, there's my phone number. The calendar link is at the bottom right there, chargezoom.com/partner. That is the calendar link. If you need to book a demo, if you need to book an onboarding, if a merchant's already using Chargezoom and they just have some questions or they want a training, you can do that on this link as well. You do not have to schedule anything far in advance. We have times available today. So if you have a merchant you're talking to and they say, yeah, I'd love to see a demo, boom, you can schedule it right then and there. If you don't see a time, give us a call. We'll find someone for you. We'll make time for you. I'll tell you real quick, and this will be it for me. I'll tell you real quick, the two number one pieces of feedback we get. Number one is the user interface. I hear it all the time from merchants. Wow, this looks slick. It looks modern. It looks super easy to use. It looks better than any other solution I've seen. And then number two is, wow, you guys answer the phone. Believe it or not, people say that to me all the time. The phone rings, I answer it, and they say, oh, wow, someone answered the phone. And I say, what did you expect? So we like to be available right away for everybody. We have a great team here, very customer friendly. So feel free to give us a call or use that calendar link at the bottom of the screen to book that demo. With that, I'll pass it back to Nate. Thank you, guys.
All right, Sean, stay on here for a second. We got several questions in here, and I'll watch here as fast as I can. Use the Q&A. We got a couple over here at YouTube and in the chat that I'll bring up. I do want to let me just share my screen really quickly.
Yeah.
And then if everybody got that contact, I will send that contact in the follow-up email that we'll send out later today as soon as we do have the recording. I see Jan's question there. Is this being recorded? Yes, this is all being recorded. If you really want to watch it really quickly, you can do that by jumping over to YouTube, going to youtube.com/mypapertech, search mypapertech in YouTube. First, subscribe. I think we're up to 260 subscribers. We're trying to get to 500 in here and by the first half of the year. So go over there and subscribe, but it also is the most recent video. We're streaming there live. Thanks for those who are watching over there right now. It will be up there. We won't take it down until we have the edited version where we kind of edit the front and back end out and make it a little quicker for you guys. But with Chargezoom, I wanted to also highlight a couple things. One, this is directly in your back office. When you go into Payments Hub, when you're setting up equipment, you can see right here, you can choose as equipment as Chargezoom. It is a direct integration. There's no needed extra third party. They do authorize.net, they do Fluid Pay, they do NMI, they do lots of the gateways we work with all the time, but you don't need that. And unless there's some reason that there's some other feature that those are already using, you don't have to have that. This is an added direct feature directly in. It's really simple. You can see I just typed in C. It was if you type in CH, it's the first thing to come up, and it just comes up really easily. And we're just really excited. So, and we want you to get going on these. So Sean, I'm going to stop the share there in a second. I'm just going to have you answer a few of these questions here. First, there are a couple questions I see about self-pay links and being able to embed on a merchant website. Does Chargezoom do that?
Yeah, so I didn't cover, but for the subscriptions features, right? When you save a plan, we do give a custom link that you can copy and paste to your website, and customers can click that link to sign up for a subscription, like for example, a pool, monthly pool cleaning, or monthly gym membership, that sort of thing. There isn't just a static, hey, click here and pay me button. Right, anything like that. That's a feature request that I can submit though, depending on demand. If you got a lot of merchants looking for that, let me know and I'll put that in.
All right, and then Sean, we talked the other day. I told you these questions would come up, talking about cash discounting, surcharging. People asking, I'm going to be able to click off like 6 questions. People asking that already. We knew that'd be something they would be asking about. Can you talk where you are currently, Chargezoom, with using surcharging and how that is used, where some things may be future, and then I'll jump in at the end and kind of talk and present that in a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so for the merchant facing, that first example I went through, essentially that virtual terminal feature, the merchant has the ability to add on an automatic surcharge. It is Visa compliant, so it's only going to charge, it's only going to surcharge credit cards and not debit, right? And we do a real-time bin lookup for that. And the really, really cool thing that goes a long way with the QuickBooks users is when that surcharge gets added and processed, it will automatically update the invoice and add that surcharge amount in as a line item. So it's fully GAAP compliant, right? GAAP, generally accepted accounting principles. So it's fully compliant with that as well. What we are going to be rolling out soon, because I know this is a demand, right, is for the payment links to have the ability to add a surcharge on those payment links that merchants email out to those customers. That's currently not a feature that we have right now. That is coming soon.
And so to kind of add to that a little bit of what Sean's talking about, in our cash discount world, and Ed, we keep pushing it, we talk about it, we encourage it. These are going after merchants that a lot of times are, like Sean was talking about, are already priced at probably making profit for Intuit at 240 to 260 basis points. So there's a lot of these merchants, specifically those who are B2B, who are living by the net 30 and the net 60 and living by the invoice, and not simply using invoices to, bypass the point of sale or something like that, because a lot of places do that. But those who are just, living by those invoices, and there's somebody that's sitting in a room and all they do all day is make sure that the invoices are going out for the products and the services that are being sold. They're often paying huge amounts already to Intuit payments. And so you can look to make the same amounts or be in that 100 basis point factor where we get into the edge without actually doing edge. Now, surcharging is a different option. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a future webinar. In fact, I think we're going to specifically talk about that in a 5 with Danny that we're going to record here in the next day or so. So look for that, making sure you understand the differences there. But there are some opportunities here. And when you walk into, especially these places that are wholesale type places that you get opportunities to because you connected to your local restaurant and you connected to all those wholesalers that are selling to them, if they're already using credit card processing, they're most likely doing it through QuickBooks as the highest percentage of it. If they're using FreshBooks, the same thing is going to be true. I'm not familiar with Xero, Sean, you may be able to say it, but the pricing is going to be significantly higher. What we're encouraging a lot of times, you can go flat rate pricing, get it in the place where you're going to be around 80 to 120 basis points, and you're going to feel like it's a compensation of edge, still saving them some money and giving them a huge opportunity here to provide them with a service that really gives them a quick payment and eases some of their burdens that they're having maybe other ways. Sean, I'm going to ask this question because I think it also ties into this. Don asked this question. I've used QuickBooks Online. It seems to already do some of the same functions for like recurring invoices, branding invoices, and other. What would you say to them? How does this differ, and how does Chargezoom make it easier for them and bring our payments world into them so that they're not just using Intuit payments?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the whole point of it is, to give that user, right, the ability to choose, a processor other than Intuit, right? If you want to, if you're using the features in QuickBooks, you're locked into Intuit Merchant Services. If you're looking, say, hey, I'm interested in, using someone else, but still want the same features, that's literally where we come in, right? I mean, we're actually getting leads direct from QuickBooks now, right? So these merchants are calling QuickBooks saying, hey, I noticed my rate's going up, or I think I'm paying too much. What can you guys do for me? And they're literally saying, oh, here, call Chargezoom. They'll help you out. So the merchants are already starting to ask. That's something that's actually been starting to become more and more frequent in the last few weeks, I would say. I would recommend, be proactive, go after that merchant before, they just go to QuickBooks Direct and try to look for a solution. You could be the one to go and say, hey, I know the certified solution that QuickBooks uses, so that you don't have to pay QuickBooks, right? I mean, that'll be music to their ears.
Sean, Robert B asked, for recurring billing like a high school, will the system automatically add late fees to the new invoice or to the total amount if the customer is 2 or 3 months late, like a QuickBooks allows in the late fees?
No, not a feature that we currently have.
All right.
Yeah.
So a couple people were asking about ACH e-checks paying by bank drafts. What are some of the feature opportunities there within Chargezoom?
Good. Yeah, good question. Good question. Chargezoom is set up to accept ACH, aka electronic check, right? As so long as in the gateway it is turned on. So, for example, if someone's using like off.net with Chargezoom, right, the merchant would have to go into off.net, say, click on the accept e-check button, and then that turns it on in Chargezoom.
All right. Quite people asking about flyers, and I'm going to quickly, let me share my screen again here. If you go to mypapertech.com/chargezoom, this is not fully live yet. Josh, our UX UI designer and director, is getting in to put this in. I think he has about 17 resources that are going to be put into this section. It'll eventually be on the front page of mypapertech.com probably in the next day or so, but you can see mypapertech.com/chargezoom. You can see that there's a merchant flyer, a small business. This video will be embedded there, and a variety of other trainings that we have gotten resources from the Chargezoom team will be right there and connected directly through the mypapertech.com. You can find these already just by going there /Chargezoom, and the direct link on the front will be there soon. You'll see more very quickly. I would guess by tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure when all it's getting uploaded. All right. I think Danny's been jumping in there and answering a bunch of questions here in the chat. And so I'm trying to see if there's anything else to ask. I think everything else is covered. So on that, I'm going to thank you guys very much for joining us. Thank you, Sean, for presenting. We're going to be pushing out some more information about Chargezoom. You'll see an email with the recording of this here very, very shortly. It depends. Zoom, it's about 40 minutes. It takes a little while for it to crunch. Then I'll edit it, take out the fronts and the backs, and make sure all that is put together. You can get the information all over at mypapertech.com. And what I encourage you to do is take an opportunity when next time you're talking to one of your merchants, whether in person or over the phone, that has lots of vendors. Start asking them about their vendors and seeing if you can get some of those warm consults. And you may even choose to make them some type of a referral partner, or maybe set up some way where they're getting a little win or rewarding. You can decide how you're going to put that together, but start thinking, when you have one merchant who is a brick and mortar merchant, they represent maybe 15 to 50 other vendors who could become your merchants as well. Start thinking through that way, and an offering like Chargezoom gives you that option. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Sean and the Chargezoom team. And if you guys have questions, you can email us at partners@papertech.com, or you'll look for an email from me here very shortly, late tonight or tomorrow morning, with all this information we went over today. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Nate. Appreciate it.